Thanks, everyone. I appreciate everybody's patience with all this, and it's a lot of presentations. Thank you for staying. And go on, we're out. So I'm gonna jump right into it because I know it's getting late. People got things to do. People see. So if you want to pull up that PowerPoint, had it up. Just double click this guy. Okay. There we go. I'm just gonna yeah, go ahead. Cool. So what we kind of did was just a calorie diary that's supposed to track your caloric intake, but we also kind of did some additional things that where you can set your weekly goals of, hey, I'm on a diet, I'm trying to watch what I eat, and I want to keep it down to like 2,000 calories a day. And then also maybe I'm on a special diet where I'm restricting a certain type of food, like perhaps like a paleo. So I want to keep track of those. So that's pretty much the concept. So what we did for technology was I was responsible for the Firebase, the back end stuff. Um, Connor was responsible for Chart.js, which is some of our technology, and also doing our API calls, which we use the USDA for looking up calories and stuff. And we'll show that in the demo here in a minute. And then Peter was responsible for the front end design and the UI elements. And something I'm going to speak to about Materialize really makes a form really easy, because something we really didn't want to have was this big complex form where I'm filling out a whole bunch of 100 things, because the second I see that in an app, I throw it. I'm done. So that was something that we really want to do. The other thing is we used local storage as sort of a faux authentication system. So what's going to happen is when you go to the site for the first time, what you're going to see is it's going to be an experience directly to that browser to you, and it's going to actually create an ID that gets pushed to Firebase. And so each time you revisit, there's going to be your stuff waiting for you. So Peter, you want to get right into the app? Swing and a miss. So just go.
Something's on the screen.
Oh.
So I think you need to drag it over to. It is Kate. Yeah. Because it's mirroring the PowerPoint.
There we go. Just keep bringing it.
Just drag it over to the other one.
Okay, cool.
This is weird.
Yeah, I just expand it, make it big. There you go. So just simple splash page, just get you ready, get it begin. So go ahead and click in, go into it.
Just one thing about it. Once again, there's no instruction on this, so it should be very simple for you to use.
And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hand this over to Peter. And Peter's going to log in as if he was a first-time user. There's the link right there.
Okay, actually, why don't you type?
Okay.
All right. So this gives you, if you see the interface, it's really one page, and we did everything with modals just to make it simple. So Connor, go ahead and you can just put in the calories. So if you know what you're eating right now and you want to log it in, you can just log in your calorie, the description of what you want, say beef fajitas, choose the food group, and then get to select the date, and then close, and then submit, and then it logs it down here for you. So let's say you wanted to look up something. Now, you don't have to leave the page. These are all modals. You can go to lookup, put in a food name. I did French fries. Do French fries. And then you put the number of results, say 50 results, or yeah, let's do 50. Press search. And then it gives you options of maybe where you're having your fries at. And then you can click on one of them. It'll give you the calorie count. There you go. That says one serving at 229 calories. So now you can just type that in there. Type in your French fries at 229. So once again, we made this so simple that there's no instruction, and also that you don't have to go page to page. It's all done on one screen. And you would probably do that others, fats, oils, and sweets. And you notice how everything pops up because on mobile, everything can be done with your finger. So submit. Okay. Now let's say if you want to set goals. So we have calories all the way up to like, I think we max it out at 35,000 calories. If this is for a week, you're planning goals out for a week. That's like and then you could, with your finger, if you're using this on mobile, you can set all the portions that you're going to do for the week. Once again, we haven't left the page. We're still on the same page. Okay, scroll down. And then submit. And then if you want to check your summary, what your goals are versus what you submitted, then you can see it on there. So once again, we did everything where you don't have to leave that page because we figured that whenever I saw all these other apps and it's like, I look at it and I'm like, that's a lot of stuff to enter. How am I going to use this? Here, you really go in here. You have one focus, one point. What you're going to do is calories, and you never leave the page. Everything's always there. So it makes it more simple for you to use. You want to talk about some of the code? We already talked about the backend.
Let me pull up the. Where is? Yeah, is it in here? I think we should be group 15.
Hold this one. You want to type or? Oh, you don't have to type.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
What do you want to do? You want to do summary or you want to do USDA?
Let's do the USDA one. That one's more interesting. All right, hello. I think it's to the right. Maybe not. Oh yeah, take this one out of full screen. The demo.
Hit that green button on top. Well, it's on different
Or just close it, yeah. And then you can just drag the spun text over. All right, there we go. Okay, so the USDA API was a little bit interesting. So they had multiple different functions you could perform with it. The easiest one that we integrated was the search function, but the JSON object that it returned didn't actually give us the calories or nutritional value that we wanted to get. So the way I had to do it was do an AJAX call for that, populate the list of search results, and then attach like a unique ID that they use in their database as like a database ID, and then have an on-click event if you scroll down under the function calSearch to use that data ID that I stored as the ID for that element in the HTML, and then do another AJAX call to retrieve it back. Obviously, I could have done nested AJAX calls, and it would have gotten a little weird, and I didn't really want to be doing upwards of 50 AJAX calls at one time. So this was kind of like a simpler implementation. And I could also retrieve other data. It actually goes very in depth with nutritional values, like protein and all sorts of different chemicals and elements that goes into the food. And it's a very extensive system that you could do a lot more with it. But just for the scope of this project, we tried to kind of keep it simple, just restricted to calories. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the USDA API goes. And then Chart.js, just a very simple tool for creating the charts like the pie graph. You could do other style graphs if you want. And then we also use, I think, moment.js to do the date formatting. And those are pretty much all the technologies that we used. Does anyone have any questions?
What did you use for those modals?
Modals? That's actually a native modal within Materialize.
Materialize.
A little tricky.
Yeah. They're not the most. Yes, Rhea?
I guess I just didn't see, but on mobile, how do you close the window? Like, you hit escape to close the.
For the modal?
Mobile,
You just tap like off.
So if you tap outside of the modal, it actually closes.
And that's the same way that it works for the browser. You just click off on the side. Yeah. And I guess we could have included like a close button. Yeah.
Did you guys upload this to the App Store? Any App Store?
Beg your pardon?
just like upload this to the Google App Store, Play Store? Could we? Sure.
They're ready for production.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if a weekend, 5-7 days of coding is really production ready.
Yeah, there was a lot of features, but once again, when we limited at just to those essential features, because we figure I know so many people like Fitbit, who has one or who had one, who uses it, kind of that kind of scenario. We put too many features, and it's like I'm not going to use it. So we wanted to keep it very simple.
So yeah, very simple, very user friendly. It's kind of the.
And then you never leave that one page. That was a kind of cool feature that.
Yeah. And obviously, like user authentication, we might make a little more complex if we wanted to, but again, for the scope of the projects, we didn't really need to make username, password, setup like that. So I think that's about it. If anyone has any other questions.
Thanks again.
Jim.